This is a very, very special card trick that tells a story. And if I may indulge, the story with the card trick. It was many years ago, over 10 years ago, that I was asked of a great task. It was coming Halloween time, and my sister had started to lose faith in Halloween long before the whatever is going on in the world, the of the world. My sister wanted to not participate in Halloween, and it was very special for the family. And my mother had come to me, and she had said, "Danny, please save Halloween." And so I mustered up the courage and the audacity to come up with a great design and a great Halloween for my sister who had lost her faith. I had suited up in a black tux, or what I thought was a black tuxedo, all black, with a top hat to match. That had a little card on it, a little card on it that said, "Trick for treat." Kind of clever. And though my sister had little faith, I kept on asking, and she finally agreed. We went out on the busiest street with the most trick-or-treaters, and I had a plan in mind and a special card trick to do. At first, we started out simple. I didn't want to show off too much. We went from house to house collecting our usual treats. Wondrous, because on this particular street, they gave out big and wonderful candies to match. So, when it eventually came time, I'm like, I need to be brave, and I must give my sister the most wonderful Halloween ever. So, I pulled out the cards, and upon the next house we went to, I gave a card spring. And there began the same response over and over and over again. "Wow, you do card tricks?" Like, they saw, "Oh, you're a magician." They thought novelty, cool. I did the card spring, and their eyes widened a bit. And they said, "You actually do card tricks?" "Oh." And the expression changed. And so began the card trick I show before you. If I may. A card is lovingly selected by a spectator, or in a surprise manner, shown to them. Hopefully it is memorized and known before the audience. Or the trick-or-treater giving, who would expect from us taking that we would give as well. The card is taken back, shown twice, you never know, and then lost inside the pack. And if need be, a casual shuffle. And so you can actually see it. Like so, and like so. And for most people that would be enough, but we want to take it a step further. So we would take the cards and just turn them all haphazard, just face up, face down, face up, face down. Just every which way, creating cards that are face to back, cards that are back to face, even cards that are back to back, every which way. And I said, just give it a wave and a snap. And believe it or not, every card will fix itself, all except for one card. Can you name your card in particular? And they would. They'd name it, and it would match every single time. And being surprised by this card trick, they would just be taken aback, mind blown, nearly run away. But then they would come back, and I would just be waiting. And then, as a gesture of immense gratitude, they would be pouring candy, a lot of candy, into each of our bags, me and my sisters. And we had done it over and over again, slopping the cards every which way. And we eventually started building a crowd. And they had noticed that the same thing kept on happening over and over and over again. That we would just get tons of candy poured inside, each one. And eventually we started building a conga line. I am not joking. This is a true story. Though I make it sound like a crazy narrative, this is what actually happened. I'm not lying. And we were building a conga line, just Not for the trick, because everyone knew what was going to happen, every which way. But it was the reaction of the spectator, the people giving the treats. And by the end, and they would just laugh and giggle, knowing and wanting to see that reaction, that sweet, wonderful, visceral reaction on Halloween night. And by the end, both of our bags, we had large bags filled with candy to the brim. We were taking down the street, and our bag was tearing, and candy was being lost. It was so much we had collected. We could barely even lift it. And therein lies, in my opinion, one of the most magical Halloweens there ever was. And that's how I saved Halloween. Thank you. So as you can tell, this trick, even though it's just a slop triumph, means a lot to me for the simplicity of being able to not have to focus on the plot or the cards or the organization so much as it is to the enjoyment of the spectator. And though it may be simple, I wish I had origination to the credits of the original Slop Triumph. I've seen Chris Kenner do his own version and everyone do theirs. But it's just one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most wonderful effects because of the simplicity of it all. And, just using it over and over, proving its worth and getting tons of candy by just the whole thing, Halloween. It really was one of the most magical nights. So, I am here to humbly teach you this wonderful trick that made so much joy for me, as I hope it does for you. So, we're going to have the cards shuffle. Well, it doesn't even matter because we're just hopping around. But let's assume in a normal condition. I mean, I did it for Halloween, for that night, that story I told you. But you could do it for whatever context. You could start it out shuffled. Doesn't matter. It's really impromptu, which is really good. A card is selected, and yeah, selected, whatever, tossed over there, whatever. But more than the card, well, yeah, it's the card. There you go. Hopefully you can see it. It doesn't even matter if I see it because for explanation purposes, 10 diamonds. I just think it's a really, really fun card trick to learn and use. So we get the card, we show it, as per se the usuals, we taught in the basic sections of, how to have a card selected. You could search up Evolving Magic sections 1 through 5 for how to control and manipulate cards if you are not proficient in doing so or you want more methods in doing so. And then the card can be placed back however. Let's try something different. Let's do it like this. Okay? They toss back whenever, here, okay, I show it again. I forget where I put the angle to sharpen it. Anyways, so it's put back and shown, and can be lost inside the pack. However, the point is that we get it to the bottom, so it can be used for our card effects. No worries there. So we control it to the bottom. You can do a shuffle if you want, overhand shuffle, retaining the bottom stock. Whatever, we have it on bottom. We then start the Slop Triumph action, which is to push off a couple cards with our thumb, like so. And then we're going to lift the cards, the other cards, or what we pushed off. So, again, the cards are taken from Straddle Grip. Straddle Grip, yeah. We could do it from Mechanic's Grip, but whichever. I'll just do Straddle, pinky being behind, forefinger being right here. Push off a couple cards, and then our thumb and forefingers take it, and then we invert it so our hand goes like this, and all the cards just get slopped right on top. So it goes right on top. So these are all face cards. We push off a couple more cards, and then we can just flip it over. And so, let me describe it again. Sorry, I'll describe it. So we push off a couple cards, we turn it this way, and our thumb retains. This is the detail I missed. My apologies. The thumb retains the cards right here in a almost haphazard manner, and 3 fingers, first, second, third fingers here. Pinky could be here. Doesn't really matter too much. We push off a couple more cards underneath where we turned it face up, push it up, and then we revolve it downward. So we turn end for end. So it goes this way. Push off some cards, turn this way, push off some more cards underneath, and then we flip it again. Push off some cards again, flip, push off some cards again, flip, push off some cards again, push off some cards again. And something you'll notice is that the cards are actually being divided, believe it or not. This is a great illusion we're giving. In normal time, you don't even notice it, but the cards are being in two piles, face up and face down. They're not actually intermixing, which is kind of hilarious. So we push off a couple more cards, push off a couple more cards, and don't go to the very end because I'll explain what's going to happen. Push up. We just keep it the same process. Push off a couple more, push off a couple more, push off a couple more. And with the last card, instead of putting it underneath, we put it on top of the face cards. So it leaves us in this condition. Bunch of face down cards, face up cards, and the selection. Okay? I'll do that one more time because I know it can be confusing. So one more time, and then we'll continue from there. This is on bottom. My apologies. So the selection is being on bottom. So push off some cards, turn the cards up, push off some more cards, flip it down, push off some more cards underneath, like so. Flip it over, push off some more cards, flip over, push off some more cards. So we can just do it a couple times. Flip it over, and then instead of this one going underneath, this last card goes on top, which is a selection. And then we square everything up. And we end up with a situation again, face down cards, face up cards, last one being the selection. And from here, we now display the condition of the pack to what seems like a mixed deck. So we lift up in the upper half, and then we look towards it for a second, and then we showcase face to back. Mix. Then we can look on through in the bottom, and wherever we cut to, and we look for a second because we want to confirm ourselves. We don't want to be psychic like we already know. That would tip off something's off. We look, and then we show back to face. So we went from face to back to face, and then you can riffle on through because it's normal. Because it's all mixed up, you want to find a different condition to the end result back to back. Now, Divernon was able to just, his normal triumph effects, just able to lift by the separation, do it. I can't hit that reliably, so I opt for just doing it. And it's natural because you're looking through, it's all mixed up. You try to find a back-to-back, and you show it. That's normal. So we lift on the back-to-back, and notice again that the selection is right on the upper packet, on the upper pack with all the face-up cards. Okay, so we lift up the back-to-back. Okay, we showcase it, and we have it up like this position. Okay, again, selection right here. Now, instead of placing it back where we went from, we picked it up, showcased it, and instead of placing it back like we normally do, we keep in this position, and our hand turns like so. It looks straight on with the rest of the pack, and then our thumb just takes this upper packet with the selection right here, and it squares everything. And that reverses the sandwich, meaning we get the end result of all the cards being the same way, except for the selection. Let's go back again, because I know it could be confusing. We got up to the point where it's faces, the selection, face up cards, face down cards. We show the cards face to back, put it back, back to face, put it back. We would do it slower to showcase it. Then we look around, we find it, and we show back to back. Now we do not place it back, we leave it in this position, and then our hand turns, so it's aligned with the other pack, and the other pack just comes closer and just aligns it and takes it at the same time. Reversing the order, so now every card is face down except for the selection. And upon doing so, we want to build up the effect. And it's natural for you to do that. No one thinks the wiser, because if it really were face up or face down, it wouldn't matter whether the cards are reversed or which order, because they're all mixed up. That's the perception we're giving the spectators. And then the final part, and then I'll overview it, is we push off some cards. We say, But if I just give it a magical wave and a snap, we're building the presentation, because this is the moment they all remember. I pause, I go slow, because we want to really build up all the past work we did that the spectators can never even acknowledge, because they don't even know what's going on. They just know, which is still very special in its own way, that you are giving from your heart by doing this performance to them or for them. And it's a very special moment for them. Because again, and I remind everyone endlessly, on average, people only see magic twice in their lifetime, which is pretty crazy. So we push off a couple cards, push off, we say, and check this out, I start pushing through the cards, and every card seems to fix itself, all except for one. Push and show the state of the condition. Okay. Now, depending on if you're standing, we can change how you reveal it. If you're sitting, you can take the card, revolve it off the forefinger right here, using your forefinger right here, just revolve it, hold it right here. And then from here, you can do a couple things. One, if you're sitting, and with the table, you can spread all the cards, show that every single one is really fixed. Or you could do it face up or face down. Your choice. You could, realign it, fix it with your hand, and spread and show every single one, and then show the selection. That's one way to do it. Different ways. If you're standing, in the case of standing, so I do this, show one's cards different from all the rest. I can, if you know how to fan, which there are a couple of YouTube videos on this, I might do my own YouTube video on the fan very shortly. We do a card fan like so. Pull out the card. And we got the condition where you can show all the cards. We got the one card right here. It's a pretty display, and everything is very pure, in a very pure situation. It's like you can manipulate anything. They name the card, and then you can show it. And it's a wonderful condition to end it. You got the cool fan, you got the selection, and the selection is relevant, if you hold it up to your face, to you. It's a magical moment, which is pretty cool. And I mean, there's you could always think of your other myriad of ways to do it, but I usually just do it every time with a fan, just because it looks so cool to end a display like this, and then boom, it looks magical to me. So I did want to do one overview of the performance, and just because it's so important to get a general understanding of the pacing of it, just so you can, or maybe match the speed with me. So, cards can be shuffled. If you use this for Halloween, you don't need to really necessarily shuffle it. Maybe a quick jog shuffle like that, whichever. Card is selected, could be dribbled, could be riffled, whatever you like. I usually choose dribble. They say stop. The card is stopped, and then hand it out. Show the spectator. There we go. I'm just going off the little camera adjustment. When it adjusts, I can hear it, so that's how I know if you guys can see the card. Anyways, card is placed back, shown again, okay? And then it is mixed inside the pack. One addition I forgot to mention. Well, I did mention it. Yeah, I did. I'll do a reminder later. And the cards can, again, be mixed if need be. I want to mix them even further, rather than just normal shuffles, to do it face up into face down. So you can see this face up cards, face down cards just being slopped everywhere, every which way. So you got cards that are face to back, back to face, and even cards that are, let me see if I can find one. Cards that are back to back. It's crazy. Anyway, here's the crazy part. If I give it a wave and a snap, would you believe it if every card fixed itself? And they go, no, that would be pretty crazy, though. I spread on through, and you are correct, pretty much. Every card will fix itself, all except for one. All except for one card. What was the name of your card? And they name it not the Seven of Hearts or King of Spades. No. They wanted the Five of Spades. That is their card. So, I hope you enjoyed it. One final note, remember to control the card to the bottom. And you do that by, as you show the card, pull back, get a break below the card. So when you add it, however you control it, by double undercut, by triple cut, which is just involves taking out the break, dropping it. However, it helps in controlling the card to the bottom. Just wanted to throw in that little note. I know it could be important. So with all that said, I am sharing with you a card trick that's very, very personal to me. It's had a lot of happy memories, as is been just a wonderful card trick. I know there's many other card tricks that can be more ghastly, like, the haunting, what was it? The Haunted Pack. It's from Penguin Magic. Penguin Magic Haunted Pack. Jay Noblezad is teaching it. Great trick. Or any other ghastly trick for Halloween? Ghastly ghouls. Ooh. But this one holds a very special place in my heart for the amount of success it got and giving me more candy and more joy than I could ever imagine. And I share this with you. So from my heart to yours, the Slop Triumph in its most classical manner is yours for the Halloween, and I hope you fool many people and just have a wonderful one. Happy Halloween from Evolving Magic. Like and subscribe.